Montreal, el sueño de muchos o el reto más grande de sus vidas. En este video entrevisto a gente que inició de cero y empezó una vida aquí en Montreal para que ellos les cuenten de su propia voz qué es migrar a Montreal, las dificultades, lo bueno, lo malo y todo lo que no te dicen usualmente acerca de venirse a vivir a esta ciudad.
La STM vous souhaite la bienvenue à bord.
Hola, mi nombre es Laura, yo vengo de Colombia, del eje cafetero de Manizales, el mejor café del mundo.
My name is Connor. I'm from England. I've been in Montreal for 10 months now, almost a year.
Mi nombre es Juan Antonio, soy de Colombia. Llevo 3 años viviendo en Canadá, sí.
My name is Neha. I'm from Pakistan. ¿Cuánto tiempo llevas aquí en Montreal?
Llevo aproximadamente 1 año y medio.
¿Cómo fue que llegaste a Montreal? ¿Fue tu sueño venir aquí, migrar?
No, la verdad, estoy aquí por, como dicen por ahí, cosas del destino, por el amor.
Nunca tuve el sueño de emigrar de Colombia. Yo quería venir a estudiar solamente para saber qué es vivir por fuera del país.
I arrived in the second year of my master's and we had the COVID curfews and stuff happening over here, so it was tough, but luckily now I'm able to explore the city more and I love it. I've heard so much about Montreal and I feel like there's a lot to explore if you really open up your mind to it.
Tú puedes conocer personas de todos los lugares del mundo y además puedes conocer su cultura a través de, por ejemplo, las comidas.
You find diversity no matter which area you're in. Like, as a city, I feel that Montreal is divided into the neighborhoods, you know? So you have the Plateau, you have downtown, you have Côte de Neige, and all the other ones, but you will still find a lot of cultural diversity in each place. So you never feel run out. So I like that you kind of blend in because of the cultural diversity here.
Montreal tiene, y Canadá yo creo que en general, tiene una característica que muchos otros países no tienen. Es que hay tantos migrantes que tú nunca te sientes raro, nunca te sientes diferente. Siempre todos se sienten parte del país, pero siempre todos tenemos como algo de otras partes. Entonces eso hace que sea mucho más fácil adaptarse.
Montreal's really vibrant. It's really multicultural as well. Depending on which area you're in, you've got different things to do. In the summer, it's really high energy. Every week, there's something happening. Literally a different event every week with a different theme. So I love how alive the city is, how vibrant it is, really multicultural. You can meet people from all over the world, eat food from all over the world. I say my favorite things mostly happen in the summer. I love that in the summer, you've got pretty much a range of activities.
Something positive you could say about the winter in Montreal?
Winter sports, it's a great opportunity to learn to ski, learn to skate, things like that. Try not to feel down and depressed. Kind of accept that it is what it is and make the most of it.
Cuando yo llegué, pues fue mi primer invierno y la verdad se oscurecía muy temprano. Entonces yo sentía que salía de noche y que cuando llegaba también estaba de noche. Yo creo que sentía como que el día era corto y no había hecho nada.
No es que uno tenga frío, sino que uno no tiene la ropa adecuada para el frío.
I think the best thing to do is make a group of friends. You have to go out and do things. Don't lock yourself in your room, in your apartment, in your house. I think that's the advice that I got. Doesn't necessarily have to be outside, go to a bar, restaurant, museums. If you like people, go out, meet people.
I think as an immigrant, I think generally settling into a new place, it was hard. I come from a culture where, you live with your family, you're at home. And there's no concept really to move out and, live separately when you're in the same city. So moving to Montreal was the first time that I was living on my own and living independently. So I think that was the most difficult part. Being back home, you always kind of felt like you had some support to fall back on. But because you're far away from home here, you really do have to trust yourself to figure out whatever problems come your way, whatever challenges come your way. And you need to be brave and just face those things on your own. Si alguien no tiene amigos,
afortunadamente también hay muchas aplicaciones que te permiten encontrar amigos. Que primero no se cierren las oportunidades de conocer personas de otras culturas, porque lo he visto también que hay personas que solo andan con personas de sus países o de su idioma y pierden la oportunidad de conocer a muchísimas otras personas. La mejor forma de buscar amigos es asistir a las actividades gratis, que hay muchas.
Did you find hard to make friends in Montreal?
I found it harder than other cities. I don't exactly know why that is. Maybe it's culturally a bit different. But I mean, if you use all the methods of making friends, whether you join clubs, join societies, just talk to people. One thing I would do differently, definitely you have to join French classes as soon as you come. arrive in Montreal. I found that most people I've met have met a good group of friends through taking the French classes that are offered by the government.
If I could go back to my initial days of being here, I would try to push myself a bit more to do activities that I had an interest in, but I kind of felt hesitant to join. It's hard to make friends. No matter where you are, it's hard to make friends. So you do need to put in a little bit of extra effort to make it happen for yourself. I feel like there were so many experiences, positive experiences, that I missed out on just because of my fears. So I think being an immigrant and being in a new place means that you need to push yourself to do some things even if you're feeling scared, you know? I made most of my friends in my French classes. But the good thing about the French classes here is that everyone who is taking the French class is usually new to the city. So they're all in a similar experience. They're all experiencing the same thing. They all feel new. They all feel like they're facing the same challenges. And because everyone's on that same path in life, you're able to form really great bonds with people. Push yourself out there, even if you're scared, even if you feel like it's hard to do something. Do the thing, even if you're scared, because you will feel so much better afterwards, and you'll be happy with whatever experience comes out of it. You'll be happy with the things you learn about yourself and the things you learn about other people or about the world. Don't be scared to put yourself out there and take a risk. Be safe, but take a risk.
I think meeting people is a big challenge. It just seems harder. It depends what your job is. My job takes a lot of time away from me, so if you have more time on your hands to go and meet people, which is that's something you like, obviously. If you're more extroverted, you can go meet people.
Otra cosa que creo que no te cuentan de Montreal es que tienes que aprender los idiomas. O sea, los dos idiomas son fundamentales, porque muchas personas solo hablan el inglés y está muy bien, pero para tener una vida en Montreal tienes que saber bien el inglés y el francés, porque si también solo sabes el francés, es muy, muy limitante.
Solo saber el francés.
Solo saber francés no es suficiente para vivir en Montreal. En mi opinión personal, hay personas que solamente vienen con inglés y solo con francés, pero si realmente quieres venir a aprovechar las oportunidades, debes saberlos los dos. Las personas saben mínimo 3 idiomas, porque normalmente son personas que tienen o son migrantes o tienen familias que han venido de otras partes y entonces tienen su idioma propio y el francés y el inglés.
When I first came here, people put you off a lot, saying you need to speak French for everything. People try and put you off. They say don't go there, you have to speak French, which really isn't the case. I came here and it was probably way more comfortable than I thought it would be. I thought it would be way more of a challenge. My French skills for understanding it are good enough, and I think that's the most important thing. If you can understand what's being said in, say, the metro, in public spaces where everything's in French, then you're not going to have too many problems with the language.
Yo creo que cuando uno escucha que Canadá y le muestran a uno que no, que es muy fácil, que es solo llegar incluso con el español y ya, y cuando uno está acá se da cuenta que la realidad es otra.
Entonces tú no ejerces aquí de tu carrera.
No, yo soy diseñadora visual y pues por ahora no ejerzo mi carrera porque debo tener, pues cuando veía las vacantes como tal, sí o sí decía bilingüe, inglés y francés.
Muchas personas vienen con profesiones y así ellos quieran trabajar, al principio no se les va a facilitar porque aquí tienen que o hacer una maestría o hacer un estudio complementario para poder entrar al mercado laboral o hacer exámenes que muchas veces son muy costosos. Hay de todos los grados, hay trabajos muy bien pagos, pero realmente llegar a esos puestos no es fácil. Te va a tocar estudiar un poco más para abrir nuevas puertas o empezar de abajo y empezar a acomodarte a las necesidades del país.
In mental health, the biggest obstacle that I'm having with finding work is French. I'm pretty confident that if I was more comfortable with the language, then it would be easier, but for sure finding work is hard. I knew that French would have a big role to play, but I think because I had the bigger idea of Canada in mind, I wasn't as focused on it. So I wasn't ready for exactly how confident I had to be in French to actually build a career over here and really plan to settle down here. So I would say the language was the biggest issue for me. It did make me question my opportunities here, if I can actually see a future over here, because it's difficult to develop the same level of comfort with a new language as you do with your native language, right? And also I work in mental health. So to be able to be a good therapist, you need to understand how to read between the lines of what the client is telling you, you know? And with a language that you're not very comfortable with, that's difficult. So I think the language was my biggest challenge. It still is my biggest challenge.
Hay muchos youtubers que dicen como, no, ven acá con tu familia y es muy fácil, solo con tu español y que te pagan un montón de plata. Eso no es así.
Learn French. Start taking French classes so that when you reach here, your process becomes a little bit easier, you know? Because being in a new place, developing new people, all of those things, they take a lot of energy and you need to be brave for those things already, you know? Why not make one thing easier for yourself? And that's the language, since you're going to face that every day while you're here, right? Even if it's just like once a week or even once every 2 weeks, just go for a French class or do Duolingo or something. So you get a little bit of practice and you're familiar with the language. So when you get here, it's easier to communicate with people and move around the city. You feel more confident in yourself by having the knowledge of the language.
Lo más importante es que por lo menos los locales vean que tú quieres aprender de su lengua, y segundo como de respetar sus costumbres, ¿no? Y conocerlos un poco más.
¿Cómo definirías que son los quebecuas?
No son muy abiertos, tienen una identidad muy fuerte de su región. Yo creo que ellos también sienten que ya no son como tan locales, que hay personas de tantos lados del mundo que de pronto ellos ya no son tanto, creería yo. Algunos lo que hacen es que vienen acá con sus costumbres, pues con las costumbres que ellos traen de sus países, pero que no les interesa saber la historia del lugar, para ellos el idioma.
I think when they see that you're trying to merge with their culture and understand more about it and learn their language, then they're definitely open to it, yeah. I do see a generational gap also. So the younger generation is not as fixated on you knowing the language or speaking it perfectly, so it's completely fine if you're speaking English as well, you know, nobody's gonna take offense.
Montreal es una ciudad muy chévere que está llena de oportunidades, pero solamente esas oportunidades llegan después de un esfuerzo. O sea, no todo es fácil, pero todo es posible. Entonces es cuestión de dar ese empujón y cuando lleguen, que sepan que van a tener que las cosas no van a ser fáciles al principio, pero que vale la pena hacer el esfuerzo.
Si les gustaron estas entrevistas, por favor déjenme un comentario o un like y así yo sabré que es momento de salir a entrevistar más personas.